Welcome to season 3 of the Morrell Speaks podcast. It's been an honor to have over 20 guests and 2 seasons completed. And there's been a plethora of people that's been on this show. Today's guest is very special to me. I was able to meet this guest 16 years ago in Marion, Indiana, specifically at Marion High School. And over those 16 years, we got to know each other really well. And it's just an honor to be able to have her on my show. You know, some call her Arianna, some call her Mom, some call her Miss Ari, but I have the distinct honor and the privilege to be able to call her my beautiful wife. Welcome on the show, Arianna.
Thank you.
So this has been a journey to be able to get you on. I'm so excited that you finally made the time to be able to get here. As you can see, we have another guest who can't talk yet, but he's honored to be on camera as well. We have the one and only Morrell.
Say hi.
He's on camera for this episode. So this episode, as I was kicking off season 3, I was trying to figure out what to call my first episode, and what better guest to have on than my beautiful wife. And this episode is called Married to the Mayor. So before we get too deep into that, let's talk about yourself. Tell us about yourself. So you are obviously born and raised in Marion.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And your career, I like to talk about this because what you do is very special, and I think that the guests need to know how to understand your heart to be able to, before we go any deeper. So tell us about what you do and why you got into it.
Okay, so right now I work at Riverview Elementary School. This is my second year. I am the school social worker. I typically, every day is different, obviously. I mostly meet with kiddos. We meet one-on-one. I meet with some kids in groups. We do social emotional learning, different topics to do with that. We also we learn coping skills to be able to do their best in class. I help a lot of families, with resources that they may need in the community. I've always wanted to work with kids. I think, as I've been an adult, which, that. But I started off, working in schools, years before I had this job. But I've always just wanted to work with kids. I always loved just being there to see their growth and just being there to help them in any way. I have worked at the Boys and Girls Club years ago before we had our kids, and that was I loved that job. I worked there before you were ever.
Oh, yeah.
Before you were ever the director.
I actually forgot about that. That's something that we had shared in common. So you did actually work at the Boys and Girls Club prior to me.
Way before.
Yeah, way before me, before I became the director. So, and that's something that I think that we mutually share, our love for kids and the community to be able to help people, as much as we can. So so for you, what would you say brings you the most joy about helping kids and being a community servant?
I think just being able to, like I kind of said before, see them grow and just succeed in different goals and different things that they put their mind to, and just meeting them wherever they need help. So obviously the journey is different for every kiddo and what they need. When I was at the club, I was helping with tutoring and more academic aspects. And then in my current job, I do a lot of academic, obviously, because I'm in the school, but then behavior and just social and emotional skills with the kids. So I just like being able to see them succeed and grow. I also had worked at Hope Bridge Autism Center as an RBT, and so that's another place that has a big piece of my heart because I love working there when I did, and just being able to help kiddos reach their goals in whatever way that looks like for them.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, needless to say, you are committed to, helping the community, helping the kids. And, when I first met you and we first got married, I never would have thought that we would have both been in like these community service type roles, but I know, here we are. And speaking of kids, you have 3. Well, I guess I'll just say we.
You?
We have 3 kids. Yeah. Oh man, shout out to my engineer. So we have 3 kids.
We have 3 kids.
2 girls. This is the first time I had to defend myself. This is the first time I've ever interviewed somebody who was this close to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have 3 kids. Olivia, who's 6. Alani, who's 3, and Ambrose, who is now
3 months
almost 3 months when this episode is coming out. So, how do you? So it's a lot of kids for us all the time. So how are you able to, help service kids as in your professional role, and also be able to have enough to be able to take care of your own kids? The reason why I ask is because in this role, as mayor, you end up, you're giving to the community and giving to people all the time. And then, sometimes you get in the situation where it's like, I get home and I'm so exhausted. And, so how for you, how do you balance this effort of, giving out to kids, giving out to the community, but also having, enough to give at home?
That's a very hard. I feel like we've talked about this sometimes, like, just at home, just being able to balance everything, I guess, because I feel like before we had our own kids, we could go home and you just do whatever you wanted to do. Like, we couldn't, if we were working with kids, for our job, we can just come home and do whatever we need to do to relax. But now, since we have our own kids and our own, bigger family and all of that, I just try to just be grateful instead of being, just instead of looking at it negatively. I just try to be grateful and remember that these are the things that I have always wanted. I've always, prayed for these things, and it helps to have a really supportive, partner in you and our families. We have great support system in them, and they're always there to help us if we need it. Just looking at it through a lens of gratefulness and being happy that we have these 3 kiddos who are amazing and beautiful, and I think that's what helps me go through that and get through that.
Always having a heart posture of being, of gratitude, being thankful, even though it can be challenging. As one of the best stories is, where you would either of us, would come home and one of the kids wake up and then get them back to sleep, and another one wake up,
literally,
and then another one wake up and get them back to sleep, and then next thing you know, it's 7:00 in the morning and the new day starts already. And then being able to still go out and be professional, and then still be able to have time to be able for each other. It's this constant, balancing act that I'm honored and privileged to be able to go on this journey with you, and I think you do an amazing job, and we do it really great together. So now, what is it like being married to the mayor? So that's the title of the episode, obviously, right? Married to the mayor. So you've been with me since I was.
That's a fun question.
I hope it's going to be fun. We will, if I don't like the answer, I can always cut it and say it's AI or something. But what's it like being married to the mayor? So you met me when I was 17, and now when this is coming out, I'm 32. About to be 33. Yeah, I'm getting up there. It's a blessing to get old. But anyway, so you transitioned with me through a lot of different ideas and careers. I think when you first met me, my whole life was built around
basketball and drums.
Yeah, basketball and drums, and I wanted to become a professional jazz musician. So we went on that whole journey, right? And then this politics thing came out of nowhere. This story. It should be interesting. We can get into this. Is fine on this episode, right? So I remember I came home one day and I told you that.
And I was pregnant.
You were pregnant with Alani.
I was very pregnant. I
very
think.
pregnant. So I think you're prefacing for your responses. I came home one day from work, and I said to you, "Hey, I think I want to be the mayor. I think I could do this." And do you remember what your response was?
I don't know if I remember like that first response. I think I was probably just like shocked at first, and then I was like, "No." I think that was my that was my original response. Like, "No, don't do it."
Yeah.
At first, because mind you, I don't remember how far along I was in pregnancy, but I'm very pregnant, and women who have been pregnant, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, why are you bringing up this like big, it's a huge thing. And I'm like, my initial response is no. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I very much remember. And so I'm like, man, okay. And then I finally, through some twists and turns, and begging, we end up doing it. It was a lot, because when we were during the campaign season, like Alani, so you were pregnant when I told you. Then Alani was born, and then it was immediately in the campaign. So like we were knocking on doors with. At that time, this would have been a 3-year-old and a newborn, and I was hitting the streets every night, knocking on doors, going to events, going to meetings, and you obviously held it down through all that time. So again, I'm very thankful for that. But now we transitioned out of campaign season, we transitioned out of all that, and I'm actually the mayor. So what's it like? So back to that original question, what's it like being married to the mayor?
I think. And I can't say it in a few words. I feel like it's just like, it's fun. It's a lot of, what is it? It's just a lot, I feel like, to get used to. I feel like, especially just being a young family, because it's a lot that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know how, like a lot of people don't. I don't know what, like, a mayor does. Like, I don't know what, what all it entailed and stuff when he first started. And so it was definitely, like, seemed daunting at first, because I'm like, oh, we have little kids. Is this going to be, like, this, thing that's going to be really hard for us? But at the beginning, of course, it was a little bit, it was a transition to get used to. But I think once we've been in it for a while, it became like something that is, something that's fun for our family to be able to have a part of, or have a part in, be able to see like the changes and the cool things that are happening, and all of the passion and all of the amazing change that has happened since you've been the mayor, even though it's, it wasn't, obviously it's not easy to get to that point. But it's just, it's a unique experience, I guess I could say. Well,
that's
very unique.
That's a good way to sum it up. And so I'll go back to one of the things, like with, having young kids, it does present for challenges, right? Because like, if I allow myself, I could be gone 7 nights a week.
A long
events,
time.
Events. And it's very interesting because, like just being candid and behind the scenes, like when you can't make it to somebody's event, they take it personal. Or like, I'm sorry, when I can't make it to the event, they take it personal. Like I'm on purpose, like skipping their event. Well, in the cases might be, I've been gone for like the last 7 days at other people's events. Or, my daughter might have a dance recital that night, or a soccer game, whatever the different scenarios are. But yeah, so it's a lot to navigate, right? And I know as a spouse, that has to be challenging when when the schedule is so demanding, and then now you're at home with the kids and all the things that come with that. So, but I will say, from a place of being very complimentary to you, you do an amazing job with it. And I think that without shout out, that's worth a hand clap, right?
Well, courtesy.
So, and then what's interesting is out of all the amazing things that me and my team have been able to do in this first, when it's coming out, when term one just completed the second year, starting the third. out of all the things that I've been able to do, my team's been able to do, what holds me down is always you. You know what I mean? You hold me down in the background. I mean, even so, getting you on this episode was a challenge because you don't normally like to be on.
I'm not a big fan of public speaking.
Yeah, so this is a big thing for you, even getting you on the episode. But you holding it down for me, and obviously is one of the biggest things that allows me to be able to do the things that I do and accomplish all the things that I can. And, so I want to give you that love and credit for that.
Thank you,
really
babe.
Appreciate it. Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, but the so okay, this is a little bit off script. What is how long did it take you, or have you still not got used to it, to being able to have people like always like talking about me, even sometimes like, let's say negatively, right? Being able to see, hear, or internalize that because of the role that I'm in and because of the figure that this role allows me to play, somebody's always going to be mad. And then how, as a spouse, someone who loves me deeply, how are you mentally? How are you able to take that?
I think at first it was something that, of course, you don't like to hear anybody talk negatively about somebody that you love. I think in your position, and even like probably speaking for me too, like in your position and in my position, like even being married to you, people are just going to have an opinion even if they don't know you. Like people are always going to have an opinion just because I guess that's kind of the nature of having a role like this. And so I understand that, everybody is entitled to what they may believe, but it's hard to see. It's hard to see negative things about you or your family, and just I try to, just not pay attention to it or just not take it to heart, and just I know you, and I know our family, and I know your heart, I know my heart, and I try to keep those things in mind. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, that's actually a good point, because I think that in these roles, whenever when you're like in any kind of public figure, people don't actually really get to know
you as a person.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, I think one of the great urban philosophers says, you might have seen me in the streets, but you don't know me. You might talk when you speak, but you just don't know me, right? And it goes on to say a few more things like that, but it can be complicated because when people truly don't get to see your heart, really don't know who you are, they only can just judge on like social media clips or news articles or what they've heard through 3 or 4 people. So yeah, I mean, it definitely comes a challenge, and I know. I mean, even for me, like the first few times, it was bothersome, right? But then after a while, you get used to it, and then you just be concerned about how obviously you and the kids take it. Thankfully, my kids are young enough at this moment where they don't hear all the crazy stuff about their dad, right? So what is something that you wish people knew about being married to the mayor, or I guess specifically me? Yeah, what's something that you wish people knew?
Something, I think I just want people to remember that we're literally just people. Like, I mean, we're not like miracle workers. You're not a miracle worker. Like, we're just people. We're not like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like I can't remember where I was the other day. I was somewhere and somebody had said something to me about, I like how you're just like a regular person. Like you guys are just like regular people. I said, yeah, like I feel like I have, I don't see myself as any different than the next person just because you're the mayor. And I know you don't see yourself differently either. 'Cause, I think I just want people to remember that, we are just a young family, living here in the same place that we've lived our whole lives. And we just want it to be a better place. We want our kids and everybody's kids here in the community to love the place that they live, and just make it a fun place for everybody. And I guess, just make it. Sorry, he's distracting me. Yeah. Make it a place that people love to live, and yeah.
He's actually been being good. He hasn't cried.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
The whole episode. I'm very impressed. He's a very chill baby.
He really is.
So, a couple more. We'll wrap it up because I know at any moment he's going to ready to. Hey, baby
he's
boy.
Staring at you.
Hey, baby. Any moment he's going to be ready to start crying. So we don't want that on the first episode of this season, right? So what's your? I'll close it up with this. What's your favorite thing that has happened in the city of Marion since you've been mayor? Since I've been mayor.
Favorite thing? I think instead of like pinpointing like a business or pinpointing like a certain thing that's come to Marion or something like that, I think I would say just like the overall excitement that I've read and I've heard people and I've seen people talk about. I just feel like people are more just excited about the city and what it can be and things that have been done in ways that we've progressed. And I love the splash pad because we have little kids, which is a great thing. That's one of my favorites. They love to, we like to go there when it's nice. So we'll be there a lot this summer. But yeah, I would just say the overall just morale and like people being excited about Marion and wanting to know like what's happening and wanting to be in the know about things. And
yeah. That's good. So we're gonna wrap it up because I see my son getting fussy. So
he's wiggling.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So again, before we close, I want to give you your flowers for all that you've been able to be part of. Yeah,
thank you, man.
Obviously, being an amazing career, serving this community on many different levels, as you've mentioned, from the schools to the nonprofit sector to the different abilities sector as well. So your heart and everything that you do and the service you do definitely has changed my life, and I know many other kids as well. So I really appreciate that. And also the amazing mother and wife you are to me and our kids is an amazing thing, and encouraging me to keep pushing on every day. It helps me deal with all the crazy things and the hate that I get. I'm able to come home to a happy and beautiful wife and kids that that you hold down for me. So I really appreciate that. And obviously, truthfully, without you, I wouldn't be able to deal with half of the stuff that comes with it. So having somebody like you by my side through all this has been tremendous. So again, I want to thank you for all that you've done for the community, all that you do in my life, all you do for our kids. So in conclusion of this episode, Married to the Mayor Season 3, Mayor Morrell Speaks, you can find this on all major streaming platforms. You can find it on every video possible platform. And please like and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed day.